If it's not so big, I can't be a full man. But for women, you know that it's not the size that matters. It's about how the person, the man, use it. You can have a big size, and if you can't use it, it's useless.
So it's all about skill.
It's more about the skill, not the size.
Other.
Yes, please.
And with the kind of porns we see around, it helps you to understand that you can experience excitement in other ways apart from the mid-Victorian,
The rigid.
So with that, I would say yes, it's not bad, it's good. It helps you to understand that you can explore each other.
You see, it's not realistic because most of the porn stars, the ladies, they do body jobs. Their boobs are not the normal ones. Their butts are not the normal ones. Even sometimes their lips, you see their hair and everything, the tattoos and all that. To me, it doesn't project the normal woman. Because the normal woman, you go through phases in life. You are young.
You're welcome back to another episode. We want to say thank you to all our subscribers and our sponsors. We want to say thank you to Omrom Production and also Abigail's Fashion. Keep clicking that subscription button. As we are growing, we'll bring you amazing, authentic content. Today, we want to dive deep into pornography. We talked about it before and we had people talking about the struggle. Today, we want to look at pornography in marriage. Does it spice up the marriage or does it break up the marriage? When I was growing up, we had these romantic movies, novels that people were reading, and they had this subtle porn inside. I believe they have done a research and they realized that women are more open to this form of pornography. And 10, 15, or 20 years down the line, we have the digital version, and now people are struggling with this addiction. Today, we want to see how it affects couples. Does it spice it up or does it break marriage? So with me here, I have Dr. Prince Daite. You all know him. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and join us on set to discuss this all-important topic. We appreciate you. And we have our gorgeous Counselor Perfect Drew. You all know her. Counselor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So we just want to go into pornography. Dr. Daite, does pornography spice up marriage or does it break marriage?
Thank you. That's a very interesting question as to whether it spices marriages or breaks it down. Pornography itself, because of its addictive tendency, has some good that it can offer marriages. But generally, because of its addictive tendencies, the negative sides or the downsides of it kind of tend to outweigh its positive sides even within marriage. Yes, there are some good sides to pornography in marriage, but the downsides tend to be a bit more because of its addictive qualities.
All right. So addictive qualities overweighs the benefits that it brings.
Yes.
So what's your take on pornography within the confines of marriage? Does it break it or does it spice it up?
I'll say both because pornography, as doctor said, it's having its additive nature. If you are a couple and you watch, you get to a time that you want more of it, you want more version of what you are watching, so it becomes additive, and it also spices the marriage, your sex life. But I'll say that it depends on the individual, the couples watching, because it depends on how strong you are mentally to know your boundaries, that no, I need to stop. I need this, I can practice this, and the type of pornography that you choose. Because even during counseling, premarital counseling, we do sexual counseling for couples. And we use the aid of sexual guides, pictures, and all that to show them the styles, the G-points, the erotic zones to touch, and all that. So we use that to teach them, but it's to a limit. If you exceed certain limits with pornography, that is where the addiction takes place. So it spies, it can also destroy, depending on the individual, the couples that are using it.
All right. So as a husband who is used to, you're speaking on behalf of the men.
That's fine.
As a husband who, because like you said, Doc, the addictive nature, it's just a casual thing, but now it becomes part of you and it creeps into the marriage. Does it have long-term effect?
Okay, let me come home. You see, first of all, let's understand the downsides.
Yeah.
Okay. What pornography sometimes, no, most times does is that it gives you unrealistic expectations within the marriage. Now you keep watching a pornograph and you see the things that happen there, and you're expecting the same for and with your partner. But remember, hey, this thing you are watching is acted, it's scripted. And in fact, these guys are professionals. And what they do there, you cannot expect to get that same in marriage. So if that becomes your benchmark, then hence, your wife will not be enough for you. Mm-hmm. Vice versa, your husband might not be enough for you. So you tend to keep looking for that thing that you are not finding within the home elsewhere. And so very unrealistic.
Yeah.
That becomes the problem. Mm-hmm. Now, porn in itself, because of its addictive properties and all that, the problem with porn is that it's an end in itself. But sex in marriage should be a means to an end. So, sex in marriage is aimed at helping intimacy, bonding, trust, and all that. But with porn, it's an end in itself. So you want that pleasurable thing, and that's it. That's what porn is.
Nothing more.
Nothing more. So when you're not finding that then you see, it now, soon and before you know, you are beginning to see your wife as a sex object, which should not be. You get the problem. That is why, for me, if porn is not properly used, the challenges are more detrimental. I'd also have you to understand that, for me, if you would use porn to give you variety in your marriage, to help you understand that it cannot be always a Victorian style. There are other ways of experiencing intimacy with one another, maybe. But when it becomes an end in itself, then it becomes dangerous. Mm-hmm. Apart from that, you come to understand that porn, because of its addictive tendencies, tends to push couples apart. It doesn't bring them together. Because either they both watching it or each person watching it at different times. And so you realize that instead of that thing that should bring the couples together, it is drawing them apart because each person is drawing towards the porn and not to its
so the gap keeps widening.
The gap keeps widening.
The more they watch
the more they watch it, because it gives them an unrealistic expectation for life. I mean, that person you see in there who jumps on a woman for 30 minutes is unrealistic. Even lions in their normal, listen, don't keep having that act for 30 minutes. Yeah. You get that? Yes, so if that's what you're expecting from your man, then you rather find that man.
And then you keep searching.
You keep searching. In fact, the truth is, most people who use porn to be their benchmark never get satisfied with each other. So they are tempted to become very, very flirtatious. Yeah. Because they keep looking for that thing they are finding, they are looking for in this thing elsewhere. And unfortunately, they never find it because, you see, that is an act by professionals, scripted. Sometimes, you see, I keep telling folks that, look, that thing you are seeing on that porn, you'll be surprised that that same act he's doing has been rolled on and on and on and projected and prolonged. And you think that, wow, I need a man with this type of stamina.
Yes, and you go looking for that man that you
He
can
doesn't
never-
exist.
He only exists in your imagination.
Exactly. Apart from that, you see, because of his addictive tendencies, you never get satisfied with what you are seeing and what you're expecting. So you keep looking for, and that looking for ends up pushing your partner away from you, because you are expected to find that thing with your partner.
And she's not capable of giving it to you because it's unrealistic.
Exactly. And so that keeps estranging
The
the
relationship.
relationship. And most broken marriages, statistics shows that most broken marriages have about 56% of them are people who have some addictive tendencies to porn. As much as 56%
That's
of,
a high percent.
yes, of, listen, so you see, yes, porn may have some good, but if not properly used, the negatives are quite.
They outweigh the
numerous.
positives. As a woman, counselor, married, you are speaking for the women. And then you see the skillful woman, always young and beautiful. And you look at yourself because of childbearing age. I mean, there's a little bit of wear and tear there. But then this woman in this video is always beautiful, always young. And your man is drawn towards this woman. How will you feel as a woman?
You see, it's not realistic because most of the porn stars, the ladies, they do body jobs. Their boobs are not the normal ones. Their butts are not the normal ones. Even sometimes their lips, you see their hair and everything, the tattoos and all that. To me, it doesn't project the normal woman. Because the normal woman, you go through phases in life. You are young, you go to a stage, you give birth, age, childbirth, and all others will give you loose tummy. You get breasts that are not that firm. You get buttocks that are not that very huge.
And the face, you have
The
folds
face,
here
you
and
have
there.
folds, the
And
wrinkles will
sometimes
come.
you have hair
Yes.
sack, back sacks because
Yes.
you are tired.
You are tired and all that. And because of the work that you do, childbirth, daily activities, you can't be always there to perform like that person. And we have also individual preferences. You can't be doing certain styles, positions because of your belief, because of who you are, because of, we have certain things that you simply don't want to do in sex. This is you. But if you have a man who is so addicted to porn and he sees you in that light, that's why you have some women, it's prevalent in our society now. They are doing a lot of botox. They are fixing their bodies and all that to be appealing to men, so that they will be able to satisfy the men in bed. They look at them and it's all about sexual gratification and all that. But life is not only about sex. Marriage is not only about sex.
Exactly.
So if
There's
I get
so much
married
more.
to you, yes, if I get married to you and something happens, you can't perform again. I'm sick. So you can't have sexual intercourse with me. That's marriage, and marriage is about companionship before the other things come. So marriage doesn't start and end with sex, although sex is very important in marriage. So you don't need to focus just your attention on the porn and looking at the men. You realize that some have surgeries and all that, take drugs and all that, the rise in kidney diseases and all that. We have a lot of our media selling alcoholic beverages and all these concoctions for people to perform 3 hours, 5 hours, which is not realistic. You end up destroying your kidneys and your livers and the rest. So looking at that, having a man who is so drawn to porn, you just have him abusing you or cheating behind your back. Some will cheat with somebody who they think is appealing, having that stature, that body type, that is not realistic. Or they will mentally cheat on you. So the man will be having sex with you, but he needs to think about that that woman before he can get aroused and perform. So although you are having, we are having sex, it's not love making. And in marriage, it's supposed to be love making. But you are not making love. You are just having sex with me. It's like You are just performing. But in marriage, it's not just performing. You are taking care of me. You are showing me how much you love me. You are taking care of my intimate needs. But if you just come and it's just mechanical, it loses its appeal that is supposed to be there.
Oh, that's good. Whilst you're speaking, I'm just thinking, Dr. Daite said professional. It means these people are skillful.
Yeah.
And now you're looking as a woman, I can match her skills. There's no way I can match her skill. There's no way. Always she's going to be young. I am not. So when I look at this person, and I look at myself and said, I don't think I'm beautiful enough. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think this man appreciates me. And so when it starts like that, you see, it brings people apart.
Yeah.
Everything keeps going down. And the spice that you think you're spicing up end up breaking what you wanted to build. Dr. Daite, I've had couples tell me, oh, as for us, we do share porn and send it to the wife or send it to the husband and say, watch it tonight, we're going to do this thing.
Like I said, I mean, where it is an opportunity to improve the variety and to spice up the type of sex you have, that for me, it's okay.
Yeah.
That for me, it's okay. Because you see, because of our different upbringings, some people have just thought that it's either the Victorian style or nothing. Other people never think that there are, you could explore each other.
Yes, please.
And with the kind of porns we see around, it helps you to understand that you can experience excitement in other ways apart from the mid-Victorian,
The rigid.
So with that, I would say yes, it's not bad, it's good. It helps you to understand that you can explore each other. For that, I give it to that. It's not bad, I think it's okay. But when it becomes an end in itself, then I would have a problem. So for me, if that's a way of helping each other to bond, that's fine. I have some people who say, look, they have ways of even testing each other, just words. And those words alone are able to set the stage for them. And when they come home, they know they are expectant. And it works for them. So for such, I say it's okay.
All right.
I say it's okay.
Right. It's okay if this is introduced and is managed properly, not overboard. Because overboard is what we want to avoid. All right. So this is, I'm not making up the story, is someone who has a husband who will watch the porn. The woman has not consented to it, but he will watch the porn until he feels sexually aroused. That's when he just comes on her and do what he has to do and just leave her cold and just continue. As a woman, with time, what do you think will happen?
Before she comes in,
Yes.
I want to say from the start that that man is selfish. He's using her and not thinking about her as a human being. She's a human being. She must have feelings too. Just as you want to experience something, she must be willing to experience something too. So, why not do the journey together? Help her too. How does she come to the same level you come to? She cannot be an instrument for you to achieve sexual gratification. No, she's not a sex toy. Okay? You tend to take her out of the human body into a thing. She is not a thing. You understand? In marriage, sex should not end in itself. Sex is an is that thing that helps to bind and bond and increase intimacy. Intimacy doesn't start and stop with sex. It is a means to intimacy. Do you understand?
Yes.
And so if all it's achieving, the act, stops there, then it's not good. Because in the end, it would start creating problems in the home. It would break trust. It would create dissatisfaction. Now, these two things said is necessary for marriage to stay smooth and good. So if there's no trust, there's always dissatisfaction, there's always the feeling that I am being used. No,
That's a problem in
that's
itself.
a problem in itself.
Right.
I like to say that with the pornography we are talking about, we have the videos, we have the printed one, we have a lot, the magazines and the rest. So you should know that some are, it's a bit toned down. So if our couples and want to use it, we have the hardcore ones that I would say they are kind of dirty, right? You see them and like it's kind of abuse. It's demeaning to be doing those things, spitting on people and all that. But we have ones that mostly we use. So if you have the Kama Sutra, the Lover's Guide, that one is toned down. And some of them, you see that they are wearing their panties, their bra, then they are doing the demonstrations, and that one is healthy. But if you have a husband who want to watch the pornography, gets aroused, erected before he comes to you, it means there's no foreplay. He's just coming to jump on you, to have whatever to do whatever he will do, satisfy himself and get off. And that is bad. It means it's the pornography you are watching that is giving you the arousal, that is increasing your libido. Your wife can't turn you on. If you have a wife who can't turn you on, then there's a big problem in the house. You have
Very
a big issue.
problem.
It's a big issue. So if a wife and is going on, you need not to sit down and just watch him continue to do that. It's high time he switch that thing off, talk to you, learn what is making him not to be aroused by you, but rather the pornography. Stop watching the pornography. Concentrate on your wife. Work things with him. Is there anything that she's doing that is making her not so appealing to you? Or is it because you have tuned your mind that it's only this that can make me get aroused? If it's that, you need to reorient yourself and redirect your libido, your attraction to your wife. Because if you continue getting that, it will get to a time you will not do that to your wife, but to other people outside.
You talked about the deviant behavior. Could it be a spillover to what we consume when it comes to pornography? Because now, young men, young women think beauty cannot be natural anymore. They have to add bits and pieces here and there. And the men, all of a sudden, wants to enlarge their penis, want it bigger. And they're even advertising the bigger the better. Yeah. Locally, we have people who are promoting herbs. I mean, medically, you have people who said, oh, I did a surgery and this happened, I did this and this happened. Could it be that we have been consuming this so much so that now it changes our mindset and now we look at beauty and now we look at relationship? Could it be that?
Yeah, it's good. You see, from research and from history has let us know that pornography set the tone for the beauty for women and performance for men. So you realize that formerly those who were into the adult movie industry, they were not doing the big bumps and the rest. So people thought the slimmer that you are, that was the beauty standard, because that was what they were having. Mm-hmm. But when the blacks got more into, blacks have a lot of boobs and so it's changed beauty from being a slender person to somebody who needs to be having a lot of
a curvy shape, nice curvy shape.
So now lots of ladies are doing the BBL a lot, thinking that is the beauty standard. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? And the Bible also makes us aware that beauty is fleeting. But a woman who is having good character, virtuous woman, is the one who is going to be what? Praised. So beauty should be an innate thing that resonates from you, but not the big body parts and the rest, because God created us in his image and his likeness. So everybody is beautiful in your own right. So you need not to have the big boobs, but that industry is making the young ones, the female, to believe that that is what it is. And the men also thinking that if it's not so big, I can't be a full man. But for women, you know that it's not the size that matters. It's about how the person, the man, use it. You can have a big size, and if you can't use it, it's useless.
So it's all about skill.
It's more about the skill, not the size. You understand? But that industry focus on the bigger, the better. But it's not that. And we are driving people to their early grave with consuming a lot of concoctions and that having low self-esteem because they are certain shape. But it's not that. So focusing so much on pornography in your marriage will not help. And this, I want to make it a fact that it's not only men who watch pornography. Now the women are taking over. I think from the Beijing that women can do it better. They are doing everything extremely better.
They're going
They are
far
going
away
far.
from where the men stopped.
Yes.
They're going deeper.
Deeper, because men don't use sex toys. But females are doing a lot of things. Sometimes
Just
you
to
hear
add
them are
on.
like, really? Why do you have to do this? You have a man at home and you are having this thing. What will be the need of the man if you have all these instruments there? You understand? Because you are watching it, people are using it, so they also want to use it. But you know that not everything that is permissible is good for you. Yeah. So you must be discerning to know that this is good, this is not good. Women too are watching pornography and masturbating. So before the husband comes, they can't do anything again. Because when they masturbate, the level that they can take themselves. And I always say that, you see, women, you can just use the clitoris, massage it yourself, and give that yourself. You understand? That is masturbation. And the ladies too are doing it. The person is married, but she's just watching it and masturbating. So when the husband comes, she's so tired, she can't even give anything again. She's not into the love making. She's just there. And men mostly don't enjoy that. You need to participate. It's love making, as I mostly say it. In marriage, it's love making. You are taking care of each other sexually, not just a physical, difficult act. You just want to pump all your energy into it to drain it off. No.
All right. Doc, I saw you shaking your head when Chancellor said that it dictates the pace of beauty and also endurance and love making for men. What's your view on that?
Exactly so. I mean, presently, the standard that the women have set is the standard found in the porn magazines or porn videos. And I ask myself, how realistic can this be? You have a man, mid-40s, and you're expecting him to keep banging you for 30 minutes non-stop.
Wow.
How? Which heart can take that? Now, remember that this is a man who is in his 40s.
Yes, already.
Let's talk about the 50s. Which heart can take that? Now, you hear of people having gone to hotels with young girls and finding themselves in situations almost dying of heart attack. Because you see, the truth is, that girl is setting a standard. The man wants to meet that standard, but he doesn't have the heart for that standard. And he pushes himself to brink. He dies off. The truth is, let's stop using the porn magazines and the porn industry as the standard. For that is not the standard.
That's not the standard.
And women should understand that if you push your man to perform like the porn star, you may be killing him. He will not live long enough for you to live your full life together in the marriage. Yes, it is not bad to learn to satisfy your wife, but making the standard what you find in the porn industry is actually way too wrong. Way too wrong. Then I want to admit that presently it is what they see in the movie industry and then bringing it to life in the home. And it sets unrealistic expectations. For me, let's not set unrealistic expectations in our sex life in our homes. Otherwise, these expectations will never be met, and so it will lead to frustration, both sides, the males and the females feeling frustrated, thinking that, oh, this is what marriage should be like. And we are not seeing that, so it means we can't be thinking of ourselves as enjoying marriage. Okay?
Yeah.
They cannot be the expectations.
So for a man who is addicted and is married, what's your advice? What's your recommendation? Recovery recommendation if they're
For
willing
me,
to work on it. Yeah.
immediately he recognizes that he is having some addiction or some challenge with porn. That's the time he should start talking to the wife. Let the wife help him. If they will need to get a counselor, it will be good. That is the time you need to see the reality outside of your myopic reality. That will help. And as much as is possible, tone down. Keep or distance yourself from the environment and the places and the people who will be pushing you into watching porns and things, so that you can delineate a bit. And I'm sure with that, he would have to learn how to find sexual satisfaction with his wife and not through porn. It would need some, it's a process. It wouldn't be a one-time thing. But sometimes these are the times that you need the help of psychologists, sexual guidance, counselors, and things like that to help you come out of it. Because you see, addiction is not easy to come out of. Very difficult. But it's very possible too. And when that happens, you will come to appreciate the value of the woman or the man with you in the home. And that is explicit.
Thank you very much. It's possible. Counselor, what's your advice on recovery? What's your recommendation as we wrap up this session?
I would say that if you're having addiction, you getting to know that you're having addiction is a first step to your healing process. So you need to see a therapist to help you, and you need to rope in your wife or your husband. You can't do it alone in the shadow. It's easy for you to relapse if you don't let your partner know. Because our men watch their porn in their workplace. The internet that is supposed to use for work, they use that to watch porn. They have it on their phone. So they don't allow their children to take their phone because they know what is there. So it's high time you get out from certain sites. Don't watch them. And let your partner know that this is the challenge that you have, so that they will keep an eye on you. That is what marriage is for. You are life partners, so the other comes in. And if a partner, you have a husband, a wife who is having challenges with porn, you need to be patient with them, because it's an addiction, it takes time. So you need to be there for them, guiding them. And when they need sex, don't choose them. If you do that, it's easy for them to relapse, because it's easy for you to have your fantasy, just watch and all that. So just be with them in the process, so that at least they will able to come out of it and you have a healthy relationship.
Thank you very much. So we are concluding by saying that pornography can be addictive, and the disadvantage outweighs the advantage. And our recommendation is that when you find yourself in this situation as a married couple, communicate clearly, seek help, support each other. It is possible to recover from it. It's a long process, but it's possible. This is Sex in the Temple, and my name is Monique.